again, whether we win or lose, the Republicans are constantly trying to tell us how we have to talk to them. And no one, for some reason, thinks the Republicans have to do a good job of talking to Black folks, Middle Eastern folks, Latinos, Asians. I mean, and what's funny is,
Women.
you know how they say that the Latinos cost, Biden, Texas, I mean, not Texas, but Florida.
Yeah.
The reality is that I'm sick and tired of people of color voting for a person in majorities. The majority of Latinos voted for Biden and being told they're the problem. No, that's white folks' problem.
100%.
If Biden is pulling better than 60%, granted, with Black folks, he's always going to be in the 80, 90 range. Democrats are always going to be in that range. But if a particular demographic is, if you've got more of a particular demographic than the other guy, that particular demographic is not the reason why you're losing or what have you. It's those white folks that are not coming along.
Yeah, I think the political pundency of, can the Democrats flip Texas? Can the Democrats flip Florida? Can the Democrats flip Ohio? It's never, can Republicans flip California or Chicago or Illinois and New York, because that's unflippable for them. And I think people know that, right? So that goes to say there's more people who are trending the Democrats' way than the other way. And so the fact that Texas was close in 2020, relatively speaking, closer than it was in 2016, closer than it was in 2018, that's going to continue to trend. And the conversation is always going to be how many people are going to vote for Democrats in these red states. The conversation is never going to be, can Trump or can the Republicans flip California? Because they probably never will. And that goes for New York and Illinois as well.
It's bad punditry, and it makes you say. By the way, I got a question for you. Are you ready to hug a Republican?
Am I what?
Are you ready to hug a Republican?
I don't know what this means, and I don't know where you're going with it.
No, well, what it seems is that Trump and Trumpism, and remember that Trump people used to walk around those T-shirts that said "F your feelings," right? They want us to not be mad at them.
Yeah.
They want us to treat them well.
Gently.
They want us to ignore the last 4 years, in my case, the last 50 years of how they've been. And look, I'm not opposed to giving people a chance, but dude, we're not the people. The Democrats, people who vote for Democrats, are not the one who heard that a guy was racist, a sexual predator. Don't forget, Trump admitted to being a sexual predator.
Openly confessed. Yeah.
I believe confess, locks up kids and separates them from their families, sells us out. We're not the ones that look at that guy and say, you know what, we might vote for him.
And then double down in 2020, yeah.
Exactly. And so my question for you is, why do you think that there's so much invested in us basically trying to learn them and learn what they're about? As if we're trying to is it that people are afraid to admit what the problem is with the 74 million people who voted for Trump? They want us to learn to know them better. What do you think?
I think because they're not going away. And I think that we, like I just said, right, there's just all these overwhelming trends, blue. The younger the generation, the more likely they're going to vote Democrat. The more we have people who are in interracial relationships, those are people who are going to continue to trend towards Democrats. And I think people are looking at the 74 million people saying, what's going to take for you to flip? And I don't think they're scared of the answer. I just think they're trying to figure it out. And they're ignoring the answer is that these people are in a cult on some level, right? I don't want to speak generally, but the fact that you can look at Trump and say he's for me, I don't know if you could save that person.